In this video, we're going to be looking at integers. An integer is going to be a number that does not need to be written as a fraction. So the best way to think about this is to look at a number line that is using a scale of 1. So each tick mark is going to increase by a unit of 1. So examples of integers would be any of the numbers that you see labeled underneath the tick mark. Any values that would be found in between those tick marks would not be considered integers. They would all have to be written either as a fraction, or we could also write them in a decimal form. In the practice problem that you see here, we're given a set of numbers, and this is a list of numbers contained within those curly brackets. And our goal is we want to reorder them in ascending order. In other words, putting these numbers from smallest value to largest value. The best way that I would encourage you to do this, if you were more visual, would be to create a number line. For this number line, I'm going to use one that goes from negative 100 to positive 100 using a scale of 10. So each tick mark that you see is going up by 10 units. So from here, I'm going to add more to that visual kind of learning, we're going to use some color coding. So I'm going to underline each number in my set with a different color, and then I'm going to translate that into a coordinate point when I actually start placing these values on the number line. Now that I've gone ahead and assigned a specific color to each of my numbers, I'm going to plot my points. So for example, looking at 59, I'm going to use a purple coordinate point, and 59 is very close to 60, so I'm going to place my coordinate point right there. And then we will continue to fill this out. So 0, that's going to rest right on top. Then we're going to go into negative 3. Negative 3 is going to be close to 0, so we are going to go ahead and drop it in here. Negative 5 would come after that, since negative 5 is moving closer to that negative 10 value. So we'll drop negative 5 somewhere around here, and we don't have to worry about it being perfect. We're just trying to get an idea of where these values should be placed. 19 will be close to 20. Negative 76. So we know that negative 70 is right here, so negative 76 must be closer to negative 80, so it's going to fall to the left of our negative 70 tick mark. We have negative 100, so that's all the way out here. And lastly, our dark blue is at 36, and that's going to be in between 30 and 40. So now we can go ahead and list our numbers out in that ascending order. So it'll start off with negative 100, then negative 76, then going to our green coordinate point, we have negative 5, then to our kind of darker red or maroonish color, negative 3, followed by 0, to 19, to 36, and then to 59. So here is our same set as was provided to us above, but this time we have it in that ascending order. I would say the trickiest part of this would be ordering the negative numbers. That tends to have been a point of struggle that I've seen happen in past classes. So sometimes what might help is to kind of reframe the numbers that you're working with, kind of change it into the idea of either temperature or money. So in the case of ordering negative 5 and negative 3, those two values are relatively close to each other. So in this instance, you might kind of say, well, it would be worse to be $5 in debt than it would be to be $3 in debt. So this is how we know, or how we might be able to say, that negative 5 is smaller than negative 3. Even if you reframe this idea in terms of temperature, it's going to be colder if we are saying that it's negative 5 degrees outside versus if it's negative 3 degrees outside. So either use those or feel free to come up with your own example. Really pick something that's going to resonate with you and that you will be able to kind of draw upon for future questions. So let's go ahead and move on to a practice problem for you to try. So for your question, I want you to go ahead and take the set that includes positive 17, positive 63, negative 1, negative 2, positive 2, positive 3, negative 18, negative 40, and positive 13. And I want you to put these in ascending order. So use whatever method you feel confident with. So if you are a visual learner, I would encourage you to create a number line so that you can kind of color code and order those numbers on that line. So go ahead, pause the video, take some time to work on it, and when you're ready, press play and we will review the solution. So as you see here, I've color-coded my numbers and I've now put all of them on my number line. And from here, if we were to write this in ascending order, we would start from negative 40 to negative 18, negative 2, negative 1, positive 2, positive 3, positive 13, positive 17, and positive 63.